Hi CC families. I am a new director and I have a lot of new families in my community. So I thought I would just share some information. I'm going to talk about kind of how we start our homeschool day, the things that you absolutely have to have for CC, and then some things that are nice to have, and just kind of share a few other resources. So let's jump in. The first way that I start my homeschool day with my daughter is we have kind of like a little morning time where all of the kids are involved. You can get little babies in on this, toddlers, they can all be a part of this time if you so choose. So we start with our pledge. We do a pledge to the flag, and then we do a pledge to the Bible. Then we also have a little devotional time. There's all kinds of great devotionals out there for kids. This is the one that we use. I have all girls, so this one's for girls. Then we do a little bit of like a calendar activity where we talk about the weather. I make sure that she knows how to write the correct month. Like today is September 1st, 2021. We practice saying that correctly. Then sometimes we'll talk about like the seasons. I picked this up off of Amazon. There's all kinds of different little calendar ideas, and you don't have to get all fancy. You can just sit there and talk about it too. Another fun thing we do is she loves to play teacher. So I picked this up online also. I think this was Amazon, just a little pointer so she can point to some of the words. Sometimes we incorporate it with our little calendar chart. She points to that. Just another idea. We also do scripture memory. So this is kind of like a catch-all time, and we really get our day started. This is also when we do our CC memory work. So an awesome person posted on CC Connected, which is basically a subscription that you join. You pay a monthly fee and you have access to hundreds of files. They posted the images for this awesome flip book. This is what we use when we review. So it has the geography map and then the weekly memory work on it. This is awesome, and it's super small, convenient. You can throw it in a basket, you can throw it in your purse, you can throw it in the car. So when you're traveling, if you're riding, don't do this while you're driving. It's just a quick way to review, have all 24 weeks, super convenient. Another thing that we do is fact practice. So I just got these, they're called math wrap-ups, math keys. And we're working on subtraction this year. She's going into second grade, so it tells you where to start. Start 7 minus 1, you match it up, and then you're starting at 4 minus 1. So I love these because on the back they have like a key, so they can check where the string should be going, and they can self-check. So this would be super fun way to do fact practice, way better than flashcards. And they have all kinds of different ones. They have addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, fractions. There's even one for states and capitals that'll be super cool when we get to cycle 3. This I ordered online, Christian book stores. It's also available on Amazon, but Christian Book was a lot cheaper. They ran a homeschool special. So these are really going to be really fun for her to do her fact practice. So that's it for kind of like our morning routine. And then once we get started, we get into our reading and math. With CC, you do have to supplement with some kind of curriculum. I love that because as a former teacher, I can't pick one curriculum to satisfy everything. So I like that I can kind of pick out my favorites and make it fit my needs and my daughter's needs. We use Horizons for math. It's a very easy kind of pick up the book and go kind of thing. It's very colorful. My daughter can do these independently most of the time, so she'll actually do this without me sitting there, which is nice. It gives me some time to kind of work with my other kids. My toddler will be starting preschool this year, so we'll be working on all the fun letters and stuff. But this is really nice setup. I like how it reviews. It's always spiraling back, and it covers tons and tons of things. So there's 2 books. It's like $50 on Amazon. And then this year we are starting The Good and Beautiful for reading. This one covers a gamut of things: language arts, there's reading, writing, spelling, phonics, all kinds of things. And it's just really nice. This is a pick up book and go kind of thing. There's very minimal prep, and it incorporates beautiful illustrations to go along with the reading. And then there are a little bit of color in the font there, but it's just set up really nice. I like just me glancing through it. I like how it looks easy, and it tells you read to the child, and then it says what to read, and you've got little boxes that you can kind of check off. So I'm really excited to try this, and it comes with little readers. It comes with a leveled reader for them to read independently and another reader for you to read together. So I'm super excited to try that. So reading and math curriculum, you pick your own, whichever suits your needs. As far as CC goes, for new families, you must have a foundations guide. This is the curriculum that we will use all year, all 3 cycles. So you buy this one time and you can use it for every child from kindergarten to high school. So that is super awesome. And this is a bigger version of the little flip book. So it has your weekly memory work. And then this one also has information on science and fine arts. So like part of fine arts, we talk about orchestra and we learn about instruments. There's lots of information laid out for that. For science, there are lots of little things that we do for that. I didn't mark my page, so here's a nature walk. It just talks about nature walk that we do 1 week. So this is your curriculum for the entire program. And then as they get older, you'll just add in more things. So required foundations guide you must buy. You also must purchase a tin whistle in the tune of D. You can get this from Classical Conversations. You can also order this online, other avenues. And I will say your tutor may provide you with a holder for your tin whistle. If they don't, there's tons of ideas of how you can make them. You can sew them. This one's hot glued. I've seen people using like PVC pipe to put them in, but you're going to want something for them to put it away, so that when their tutor is talking about like the parts of the tin whistle, or maybe they're going over like the components of music, when we're introducing like notes and the vocabulary, they might want to tuck the tin whistle away so it's not tempting for them to blow on it and be a distraction. So if your tutor doesn't provide you with a case, that might be something that you want to look into. But the tin whistle and the foundations guide are the only requirements for CC that you must absolutely have to have. If you so choose, you can order extra. I really like the placemats. This is Cycle 1 placemat. We've got World, and then we focus on Africa. It's just nice to have it at the table so you can do a quick review while you're having a meal or while they're waiting for you to prepare a meal. They are laminated and it's pretty thick, so you can even whip out a dry erase marker and do some geography at the table. Super convenient. And once you buy them, that's it for cycle 1. So each cycle 1 that repeats, you've got the placemats. There are 3 cycles. The timeline cards were another thing that I invested in because I started with a tutor, as a tutor. So I wanted the cards just because I thought they would be easier, and I'm a visual learner, so having that picture to go with the part of the song that we're singing is super important for me to help remember. And then there's a ton of information on the back of the card, so as my daughter gets older and starts asking questions, we'll be able to go through and kind of dive a little bit deeper. The timeline song is something that you repeat every cycle, so every year that they're in CC, you will be using the timeline. So I thought the timeline cards were a pretty good investment. There's lots of cards this size. We've got composer cards, there's science cards. So just don't feel like you have to buy everything and go overboard. If it's your first year, stick with the basics, maybe the foundations guide and the tin whistle, and maybe one other thing. Maybe you want to try the maps for the placemats for geography, or maybe you want to do the timeline cards. But just know that once you buy them, you have them for that cycle each time. Especially if you have lots of kids, it'll be a great investment for you to reuse over and over and over again. So I did mention CC Connected before. I just want to reiterate that that is a great resource. It's like $6 a month that you pay, and you don't have to agree to a certain amount. So if you would like to join for just a couple months and download everything that you want for the whole 24 weeks, you are free to do that. There's no requirement of how much you how long you have to be enrolled in the subscription. If you are a director or tutor, you get 50% off, so it's only $3 a month. So it's a great resource to have. One thing that I really like that I got off of there were these little cards that are just different ideas, because as we go through the memory work, it gets a little redundant when you say, all right, we're reviewing week 1. Tell me the commandments 1 through 5, and they're going to sit there and rattle off all the commandments. It's more fun, especially for younger kids, to do it as a royal princess or your royal highness. You have to talk in a British accent, or maybe you have someone who likes to move around a lot and they're going to do jumping jacks while they're saying it, so they're out of breath while they're saying their memory work, or maybe they're going to crawl like a little baby. It's just kind of changes it up so it's not so monotonous of just repeating the same thing over and over again. So those were something that I got off of CC Connected. There's tons of resources, tons of files. If you like to throw in a worksheet every once in a while to reinforce the memory work, there's lots of that on the CC Connected file sharing site. It's really a great resource for you. But the simplicity of CC is create it in such a way that you don't have to do that. That is totally optional. You can just do the memory work, the foundations guide, and just go through and review that each day. That is totally fine. The extra stuff is just for the frilly, the extra. You want something extra. So that's it in a nutshell. I hope that was helpful, and I will see you all in class.